There we go. There we go.
There we go. Okay. To our lockdown dinner. This is my last lockdown dinner for a while. As I'm standing here, I'm 38 weeks pregnant, and next week actually going into the hospital and having my C-section. It's a bit daunting times, to be honest with you, because it's Corona around the corner, and yeah, they're looking at us going into the hospital. I'm not sure even when next week, because I've noticed I'm loving the time cholera, which is pretty much our loving time of Corona. So doing a quick meal because it's a Friday evening, it's in Joburg, and it's busy raining, so we literally just want a really yummy meal we can do quickly and easy. Yet again, using some of my leftovers which I've got in my...
Just one thing.
Yes.
I see your Zal's joined.
My favorite, which I'm going to tell you about a little bit later. But yes, so pretty much what am I going to plan on doing this evening for you? So something that's quite a hearty and lovely meal is the egg fried rice. So it is going to have chicken and egg in it. So those of you that panicky about it, sorry about that. You can do the one or the other. That's also fine. But the idea is to bring in a little bit of Asian and easy things that you have around you. So eggs you always have in your pantry. Rice, which we've cooked, which is pretty much Basmati rice. This I'm sure a lot of you have, especially if you've been making meals and hearty meals, you do with it. So I'm going to show you about that. Are we going to add it? And then we'll also do a dessert quickly of all your leftovers, because a lot of you have been baking. So I think what also happens with the baking, you bake till a point and then you've got a few left and then you're a little bit gutful about the cake and then you don't want to eat it now, so how else can you use the cake to utilize it without wasting it? So yeah, let's get cooking. We are using a wok pan, but if you don't have a wok pan, you just have a normal, I would say a non-stick pan will work the best. Go with your non-stick pan. Just going to heat it. That can heat here. Our gas. Then also remember when frying, maybe oils that's got high smoking points. So what's the smoking point? That means before your oil start burning. So I'm using coconut oil. I'm sure a lot of you've got this in your house. If you don't have it and you want to use something else, peanut oil is also fantastic. High smoking point. So we'll add there about 2 big scoops. We need a bit of oil here for all these chicken and all this yumminess we will be frying. My recipe's got sort of like a Thai twist to it, because we are using a little bit of fish oil, honey, all the things that's a little bit more Thai, and then eventually we're going to top it off with some peanuts and some also some limes. I can remember when I was in Thailand, I love Thailand. I lived on a pad Thai noodle, exactly like this, with also your little shrimps that they made and chicken. It was lovely, it was fantastic. And yeah, so we're just going to put some oil in. You will add some of our, red onion. I know Erica asked me yesterday, why do I use red onion so much? I love red onion because it's got a sweeter character to it as well than the normal onion. And then we just go ahead and start frying my red onion. Okay. Then...
Why do you always fry onion first?
Because it releases flavor. And it needs heat when it releases flavor. The same with a bit of the garlic. Same with the ginger, all of it.
And it's probably robust enough to be able to deal with it for a long term.
And it becomes sweeter. That's the whole thing. So then we're going with our garlics. I need about 2, but I like to grate my garlic on this little McGaffer. I bought this actually from a girl a long time ago that was selling these products. I think they were selling them at Yaki Chef, but they eventually took them off. It's actually fantastic Swedish products. If you ever get a grater like this, works like a bomb. Absolutely love it. So I took 3 little garlics, but you can take about 2 large ones. Shay, there's a bit of comment.
Where?
Please chat to me.
Zal just said hello.
Just say hello there on Facebook. Ask me questions if you want. Please tell me what you've been cooking with. Give me your ingredients and what you have been doing. Remember what? This is garlic. Oh, this is ginger. Sorry, I just had garlic. So the trick of this is to use quite a lot of ginger, because the ginger is also sweet. So I'm going to take that off. So I've got at least here a 3 centimeter ginger, which I'm grating. Not more than 3, sorry, it's about 4 or 5. So I want to put all of it in there. Then really start frying lekker. You can see our wok is going quick. I would say that's about enough. Okay. So I just want to get here. So then adding some chili, some chopped chili. I've got about 2 small ones, which I'm adding there as well. These lekker flavors. And then you go with my chicken. You can help me with those.
Oh, okay. There's some things happening on Instagram.
Okay. Oops. There we go. So take that all to the back. Sorry, thank
Lexi
you.
says hello.
Hi, Lex.
Maynard says he's
using something of
baking.
Lexi later.
Maynard says he's baking focaccia and steaming
Yes.
mussels with bacon and cream.
Ooh, Maynard, I actually thought about you today. We did recipe clips together a while ago. It was for KWV. I don't know if you recall it. I am going to be featuring all of those recipe clips while I'm in the hospital and busy looking after my baby.
Lexi says she wish she could be here for dinner. Maynard says it looks heerlijk. And Lexi says
But
she
I will
loves you.
feature that clip, by the way. I'll let you know. I'll feature you in it.
Arista Saunders, Waves.
Yes,
Bunch
all
of
the way
people
from
waiting.
Nelspruit. So now you just carry on frying it. Make it lekker, and it's lekker crispy wees. It needs to go a bit brown as well.
Maynard says ja.
Remember it? Yeah, I know it.
Met hartjies.
Ja. Ek het sulke lag af voor vandag. Maar it was nog sulke lekker recepte. It was really nice recipes. And that's why I thought, you know what? Those clips are about 5 years old, but you can still make them. And they're really fantastic now, especially for the lockdown period. So I'll definitely, I'll definitely feature them and tag you in them. Sorry, I did cut myself, so that's why I keep going like this.
When did you cut yourself?
You didn't even notice.
When was that now?
What type of husband are you?
The one that's looking after the cameras.
Yeah, take that. I'll just leave the knife for you, please. Okay, so this is coming along. Well, that's coming along. I'll tell you about the other ingredients. So, what I'm going to do, we're going to fry that off. Let me place it aside. And I'm going to start adding these ingredients as well. So, the first one is, obviously, like I said, fish sauce. Fish sauce is very Thai. Okay? It's Thai and it's Thai. So, I would say we do about 2 tablespoons. Ooh, that smell reminds me of Thailand. We do about 2 tablespoons of soy. You can get lekker sticky in here, I must say. And then now add some honey. Oh, honey. I would say let's do about 2 tablespoons. Make it lekker sticky. So it becomes like lekker onder. You need to caramelize as well here at the bottom. Just carry on with that. I was thinking of doing Chinese 5 spice, but I find the 5 spice is a little bit, I think, too overpowering and it's not typical Thai. So we're just going to stick to these. We're not going to put any other ingredients in it.
Lexi says.
Yeah?
Okay, but now I'm hungry, and unless you can drop some off.
I'm sorry. I'm not
going to cope
registered.
emotionally.
I'm not registered with this. Okay. One that I really love, but is very overpowering, is obviously the sesame oil. I would say 5 ml. table. No, okay, not too much. Let this cook down quickly. It becomes sticky. Like a little bit of a dash of salt. Okay? Not too much because your soya sauce is quite salty as well. Let that cook down. Yeah, and then it's easy peasy. Then we cook this down, we place that aside. Then we put our egg in it. We use the same lacquer sauces and everything. It can go dark, it's fine. Then we add our greens. So the greens we opt for, or the veggies we opt for, is like it just chopped up peppers, yellow and red, more sweeter type of peppers. Then we've also got a bit of, obviously, sorry, my dog's in the background. That's sort of part of it. And then we're also doing peas, and then we're doing monkey. And then we're also doing, kan jy byt dit? Kan jy verdra? Okay. I actually understand it.
Can the cameraman at least have some wine while he's waiting?
Oh, okay. You're allowed to have some wine. Okay, while we're waiting, let's have a look at what wine we want to prepare with it. So this is a very special bottle of wine which I actually got from, well, Giselle, I think you did let me know about this wine. You don't often get them, and it's now the Mentos is some of our most premium South African wines. Some of my favorite wines, and it's really, they've got very select pockets and areas where they get access to their grapes in South Africa. This specific one is a Sauvignon Blanc that comes from the Darling area, so it means it's more like salty characters, crisp, very fresh, and comes from the West Coast area, which I love. This is my favorite. I don't often drink Sauvignon Blanc. I love Shannon's. I love Riesling now and then, but I must say this is one of my favorite Sauvignon Blancs. I can't drink, but my husband's going to drink. So we've chilled it, but I can.
Anel Malet says cute boof.
Cute boof, thanks. Part of the show. And this is really lovely. Light, crisp, and for a wine that's literally 5 years old, the Sauvignon Blanc, it really is a stunning wine. Roche, you can have a sip. Tell everyone what it is.
The best wine, you introduced me to the best wine, I think.
Which one?
This one, obviously.
Yeah.
Christelle says hello doggies, and then and I need to drink 2 for the cameraman.
Okay. Drink it and tell us what you think. How does it taste?
It's very nice. This is such
Not just very nice.
No, it's such a good one.
What characters do you find?
I don't know all these things yet. I'm still.
But why do you like it?
It's not very sour. It goes down well. It's nice. It's a dry wine. It's a good dry wine. It feels nice. I like it. I'll drink more of that.
Okay. And the acid? How would you say the acid?
Perfect.
Well,
Not very, for Sauvignon Blanc, it doesn't have too much acid, which is nice.
Is that all fantastic wine?
Oh, she's missed what you're drinking. So we're drinking your Mentos.
Oh, we're drinking your Mentos Sauvignon Blanc from Darling, 15. So, can't find them anymore. I know we took the last one.
Yeah, we pretty much took all of it.
So now, we've got into that caramelly stage. We are going to take them out now. They're partially cooked. Not a fan of. Then,
Okay, so they're only partially cooked now.
they're cooked, but yeah, I kind of could be.
So it's going to go back on the heat
yeah,
later.
we'll keep going and taking it back again.
Okay.
I'm just going to take it. There's some like a sauces for them. I am going to add. Coconut oil. Where did I put it now?
It was in the tub?
I'll take it back.
Ah.
Yeah.
Too quick.
I'm not doing that. No! For goodness sake. So I'm just going to add I'm just going to add a little bit more. Yeah, I'm not going to add more honey, so that's fine. We'll just add a little bit more of the coconut oil. So I do want to get this lacquer heated up now for the eggs. So that we take backwards.
And it's okay to do the eggs in the pan that's still got all the other residue.
Okay. We've got 4 eggs here.
My OCD just completely breaks that.
I know, you don't like that because you want to clean the pan. But the idea is to keep the flavors here.
Yeah.
And then we add our 4 eggs. And I'm going to give them a mix and a stir. Like there. Sorry, I'm washing my hands 50 million times a day. It's part of the process. Okay, and then we add this bad boy, but almost borrow this back. Then we mix our eggies. If you have chopsticks at home, great. I got this McGafter from the girls from the birdcage. Snoes and Beata gave it to us for our wedding. Love it. It's fantastic for Asian cooking. Then we mix our eggs. Leave it here. It needs to start developing more scrambly eggs. I'm going to start mixing with these guys in as well. Oh, wobbly pan. That. Okay, this is about the only veg we've got, so make it worthwhile. I did about 2 peppers in there. Then the peas, about a half a packet.
So you keep the heat the same?
Yes,
You just need to be fast.
I eat.
You just need to be fast.
You need to be fast. This thing is fast. Okay. Like I said, going with sight and with idea how we want it. That's going. And then I've got a few spring onions. So yeah. Okay. Keep this aside. Keep it on the heat.
Okay, so
Go and
yes,
stir.
we've got a question here.
Yes.
So, what's it? Milanay Rademeyer? Did I pronounce it right?
Yes.
Milanay. You recommend a chilled light red wine with the dish, or even a dry rosé, low on the white wine stock?
Okay, yeah. If you thank you. No, you know what? Leave that for now. It's fine. Thank you. Sorry, Milanay. What I'm thinking, you said if you've got a red wine, it needs to be. Mustn't be something with high tannin, meaning something like a Merlot or something like a Pinot Noir,
Grenache.
and also a Grenache, but it needs to be chilled. So if you are on your rosé, not a bad choice because you're putting a lot of red characters in. I always say it's all about balance when it comes to wine pairings. So maybe add your have a sip, but I think if it's an evening, if it's hot, I don't know where you are at the moment. If you enjoy being this cold evening, I will open up the red, definitely. But like I said, bearing in mind low tannins. And then otherwise, where we at? Yeah, the rosé, if you're in Cape Town, I can see people are buying actually this evening in Cape Town. I will open up the rosé, why not? It's really, there's no right and wrong with food and wine pairings, I promise you. I do it for a living, but I know for me it's about the experience. It's about where you at, who you act with, and who you're enjoying the wine with, you know. Yes, there is here and there something that might be limiting your palate with the food or something like that. But overall, the main thing to bear in mind is balance. I'm telling you now.
Okay.
Now,
So we've got Kwaiki Wang in here, so that's obviously we're getting an expert opinion here.
yes, what do you say?
Definitely a light red wine, Pinot Noir, or even
Sound
modern
wrong.
style Pinotage or
Yeah.
Grenache Noir.
Yes.
And then Milanay asked about a Pinot Noir, with a question mark, and then McGregor with a uitroepteken.
Yes. Okay, so we're on the same track, Kwaiki. The Kwaiki is a winemaker of Mentors. She's actually joining us this evening as well on her side. Kwaiki, how was the oes geweest? Are you done? Are you still busy? Are you guys working? Tell us a little bit. Type something there. And then Rochelle will read.
And Nook Studio is also in the house.
Say again?
Nook Studio also logged in.
Oh. I mean, Okay, now our eggs coming lekker cooking along here. I'm going to go back to our lekker chicken with those lekker sauces. Then we mix that in.
She says they're done with harvest.
Okay, and are you busy working inside the cellars at the moment, or are you taking off for COVID-19? What's going on with the wine industry at the moment? I did read a few things, so I was wondering from you what's going on. Right, our chicken is back. We're just soaking up all the flavors. And then we'll add some of the rice. If you cook your rice like me this afternoon, a tip that I read, and my sister-in-law actually gave me a thing to read on, because they love egg fried rice. You take your rice, you put it out onto a baking tin or baking tray like this, then you pop it into your fridge, or no, actually pop it into your freezer for about 15-20 minutes. Your rice needs to be a little bit dry. Then it doesn't become soggy-ish, if that makes sense.
Okay, so you take the moisture out.
Exactly. Now we're adding here. Sorry, a little bit there. Now add our rice. I had about 2 cups of rice inside here now, so I'm going to take a measurement how much I think we'll need to use.
Well, you'll have asked, where does that wok come from?
Paul, Ilo, thank you for the wok. Ten minste gebruik ek hom. Perfect. So you can see lovely colors. Over here. Delish.
Okay, so Isel has replied.
Yes.
She says she's in and out of the cellar, just checking up on the quality of the wine. All the wines are on the barrel and busy with the lactic fermentation. Melolactic fermentation.
Okay, good to know.
What is melolactic fermentation? Waiki, what does that mean?
I think we'll be around about there. How does it look?
Fantastic.
Like lekker, eh? Okay, so we've pretty much used most of the rice. Idea is to use more, but I'm checking my quantities for my recipes as well. So if you want my recipe afterwards, I will be putting it on the YouTube channel after each live session. Put that off. I'm going to quickly do a plating of this, and then you can have a little idea how the food looks. And then I'm going to do my dessert quickly as well. Or we can actually go to the dessert. Let's rather go to the dessert, and then we can plate this now. Thanks, Erica. Leave all this. No, leave that there, because I am going to use it down for plating. That's fine, thank you. I'm just going to do the dessert. Right. So as mentioned, you sometimes have leftover cake, especially now with there not being any cake flour in the shops. For those of you who did access that and is baking currently, I would like to recommend the following dessert that you can make with the leftover cake.
Sorry, that's actually a good point.
Yes.
Teresa Lismore says
Yes.
she missed the start. Can you just give us an idea what you're making and mention all the ingredients?
Not a problem. We are making sticky egg fried rice with chicken as well. It's more based, Asian based one, but more like Thai based. We did fry the chicken with basically onion in the beginning with some garlic, ginger, and then some chili, which we fried off in a bit of coconut oil. Then we've added our chicken, which is normal chicken breast, and then the sauces we opt for, or we basically added some soya sauce. We added some fish sauce, about 10 mils, and 10 mils of about, so I would say 40 mils, of soya sauce, and about 10 mils of sesame oil. And that's about it. That's when we fried that off, put it aside, and then the greens we've put, obviously.
We've got a guest from Japan.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Yippee. Fantastic. And yes, Teresa, then I've also, the veggies we've added, we have some red pepper, yellow pepper, some arkis, pretty much, And then we just added that and then our leftover rice. So that's sort of what you have left over all over to make something. And the next step is what pretty much I'm taking the leftover cake that we've got in our houses. What are we going to do? We're going to do a lockdown trifle.
And you're just going to put all the recipes will be on YouTube after.
Yes, all the recipes will be on YouTube on these clips, which is on our YouTube clip. Right at the bottom, you scroll and read more. All the recipes will be down there.
And it's on the Can Join Us channel.
Yes. I'm just going to add our other components.
The wine is fantastic. So.
The wine is fantastic. That's that. Right, so for this dessert...
Kathleen says you look great.
Thank you, Kathleen. Yeah, I'm starting to feel it a little bit now.
So our friend from Japan wants to know, have you ever been to Japan?
No, it's one of my favorite places that I really badly want to go to. Because I know the food is fantastic.
If the Olympics, when the Olympics is on again, we might go.
Yeah. When the Olympics is next year.
Well, this year, whenever it happens, we might go.
Right, so the cake I'll be using, and I will put this recipe up for you as well, is a very special cake which a friend, Lexi, that's who can't watch it, is made. It is actually a Greek cake, I think, which is made out of yogurt and lemon. That's also, so it's a white cake basis, and yogurt and lemon is fantastic because it brings out amazing flavour. So I did bake this, I've got an extra one, and I'm using this as a base. So everyone knows trifle in South Africa, and this is pretty much using components and using elements that you've got in your cupboard, which you can have and you can stock up of, and it won't go off or anything like that as well. So we're going to do the cake, I would say on the bottom of the cake board which we've got here. I'm sort of going to try and make them that they can be more, how can I say, versatile, not too just a cake. We'll put that as a base, okay? Then we'll go with I've got a red jelly here, which I've got, which I've made this afternoon, which is easy peasy, comes out of your cupboard.
Greek lemon yogurt cake.
Greek lemon yogurt cake, thanks Lex. It's really a fantastic cake, it's super moisty, love it. Then we put some red jelly over that. And then what I did do this afternoon though, I made a praline. A praline, typical praline is, you can use a normal peanut brittle which you buy over the shops, which is also nice, you can store it in your cupboard. You don't need to worry about it going off or anything. The brittle I made this afternoon was literally to take 100 grams of sugar. I'll also put this recipe up for you. 100 grams of sugar. You'll put 100 grams of nuts, which I've used a whole almond nut. And then you'll also add 4 tablespoons of water to it and 40 grams of, we've added 40 grams of butter. And I've added a half a teaspoon of salt. So it's like a salty caramel. You put that on your stove, let it boil. You'll see it starts going darker and browner. It's about it boiled a bit longer than 5 minutes, boiled about 7 minutes. You take it off and then on a tray, you put your nuts. Underneath your nuts, very important, put some butter because then it doesn't stick. So you put your tray in there, you put your nuts and you put your caramel over and you leave it till it dries. And then what we're going to be doing, we're going to be layering it also in this cake. But what I'm going to enjoy, I'm going to first put my pomegranates. The reason why I chose pomegranate is also fantastic fruit that you can keep inside your fridge and it doesn't go off as well.
It's high in vitamin C.
And very high in vitamin C, which is fantastic anti-corona. Okay? So then we add those to our dessert. And then we're going to go for our custard, which you also can find. You can put it in your cupboard. Over there. And then on top, we'll do our yummy pieces of almond brittle. Or peanut brittle over the shelf, which you can buy.
I see Brits has woken up.
Who?
Brits. We've got Belinda and Lilian.
Fantastic.
I'm going to grab some more.
Thank you. And that's it. It's like really easy peasy. That's how it looks like. You can put it inside and then keep it inside your fridge. If you want to opt for something creamy with it, I would recommend some ice cream or something. You don't need actually cream with it as much. And then we put this then aside. I think, love, you put it in the fridge. Nice. And then we're going to get to the plating quickly. Let's take this over back, please.
Fridge or freezer?
Put it in the fridge. Just put it here on the side. And then I'm going to plate. Now, legs, I did think of you. This is the first plate I ever got from you. Lexi is a fantastic ceramic artist. And she's got amazing things. Her brand's called XOXO. So we're going to...
Arista Sauna says fantastic anti-corona. And then Lexi says my cake recipe lives its best life in your truffle.
What's it?
Her cake recipe lives its best life in your truffle.
Okay. Our food is still lacquer hot. So what I'm going to do with my plating, we're going to lacquer plate this now over here. Remember height, it always looks better on a bigger plate. And it's sharing food, which is fantastic. It just smells amazing as well. Let me take that, add our pizzazz, some peanuts, which is all. I took normal peanuts that's roasted, which is not a problem. Right over there. And then coriander. I know some of you love it, some of you hate it. I love it, but not too much, because it's a very overpowering herb. And then very important, especially with these characters, fresh limes, which you can also find in the shops now. And they also last. So these are all flavors, components, everything that I've used that you can easily put in your cupboard. You can have it on hand. I can also give you that shopping list, which I'll put at the recipe as well, which you can make easy peasy. So just make sure you have them on hand. And they are all items that can last you quite a while. And that's about it. That's our lovely egg fried rice, which we have there. Bon appetit. Well, how do you say that? Our Japanese friends, is he still there?
I don't know.
I just know konnichiwa. That's it. But yes, so tonight was quite a quick supper. Thank you very much for joining me for the last 4 sessions. I'm out of here next week, going to the hospital and going to get my baby. I'm still, like I said, a little bit like this, but I'm sure it will all be fine. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be posting a lot of our video clips in the few weeks to come of our previous recipes we've done. So please do make them at home, enjoy them. And yeah, hopefully with the whole corona that everything is okay in the next few weeks with shutdown and everything, lockdown, you name it. But yeah, keep those vitamin C's going and popping, and enjoy some of the lovely food that we've made here.
And you'll be back.
I'll be back. I'll let you know in time. Cheers, everyone. Thank you.
How do I stop it again?
You show at the end. 23 views. It was
We stop ook maar weer, zo.
Stop streaming. Stop streaming.